Welcome to the Island Podcast with your host, Matthew Sclosey. So, I recorded a podcast episode earlier today, but that was literally minutes before the US decided to melt down. So, I figured instead of using what I already had, I'd just, redo it and maybe we'll address some of the shit that just happened. So, if you're listening to this in the way distant future, or you live under a rock, or any combination of the two, shit went down today. Um, they were doing the official count and certifying the 2020 U.S. election, and meanwhile, um, this is okay. I messed up. They're doing this in D.C. in the Capitol building. Meanwhile, across town, Trump supporters were having a rally and a march. Trump urged them to march on the Capitol building, and they did, and they marched and they got inside, and yeah, it just became this whole kerfuffle, this whole thing, and so they eventually were escorted, or not escorted, but they were forced out. Um, Law enforcement using things like tear gas, rubber bullets. I believe at last I checked, there was at least 3 injuries, 1 death, and imposed a curfew, bringing in National Guard and the whole 9 yards. Is just a whole thing there. Yeah, so we just don't know the whole state of everything. Like, as I'm talking right now, it's 11:30 here right now. There's still they've resumed voting and arbitration and all that in the Capitol building now, and so we'll see how everything plays out. But it's it's a weird and scary time, and I hope everyone's safe and happy, not freaking out right now because of what this all could mean. I know that's kind of hard, and I'm probably not going to make it any better right now. So, because it's. I mean, I'm not immediately affected by it because I'm in another country, but it still freaks me out because we're still adjacent, and still what happens in the U.S. does affect Canada and that, and it's just it's just not a great situation. My biggest fear is that Trump might institute martial law, use this as justification. That's the worst thing. Like, that's worst possible scenario going on in my head right now. Don't think that's gonna happen, but it's just I always overanalyze everything, and I think, this is the worst. So this is obviously what's gonna happen, right? But like, rationally, I know that's probably not what's gonna happen. But we'll see. Other things being discussed is they've already drafted new articles of impeachment for Trump. Don't think that's really going to go anywhere. There's also talk of maybe inciting the 25th Amendment, which is, if the president becomes unfit, then his vice president will take over. That might be more likely, in my opinion, but still, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. So it's just a whole barrel of monkeys. Just yeah, it's gee, yeah. And okay, before I go any further, I will address this. I mean, if you're watching it on this platform and you're wondering, oh, you haven't seen this here before, I am now doing the podcast on YouTube now, as well as on audio, and so we're hoping to have video component going forward, and the Island Podcast will be on YouTube as well. So hope you like looking at my face. And just to address, like, this is my room. This is where we have it set up right now. That's not the California flag. That's the NCR, New Vegas. And yeah, so hopefully you like this. Hopefully you enjoy this. I've been meaning to do this for a while, and finally got it together. Um, Also, older episodes of the Island Podcast, I'm going to be doing, making them into the, I don't know if you remember when I was a kid. I remember when I was a kid, you listen to music on Windows Media Player, and they'd have like the cool, the waveform thing going when you're playing music. So I'm doing that with the podcast. Nothing too outrageous, but just a nice simple one. And I'm going to put all the older episodes that have already been released out there on YouTube as I get them done. So you'll have that. And I know I have for the Zoom episode specifically. I know I still have. I just want to do them all at once, just because it's simpler and easier, saves time, and I can get them out as soon as possible. And I don't have to. Largely, I'm saving myself work too, so I don't have to go out and re-edit everything. But going forward, Zoom or no Zoom, I'm hoping to have a video component now. So hope you guys enjoy that. Today is just going to be me, myself, and I. Half of it because I figured for the first video one, I'd just like to do a nice, short, simple, sweet one. Not talk about too many things or too heavy things or anything like that. That was my reasoning behind it. And also, I forgot to get a guest again. So here's where we are. Yeah, but you know what? That might now have, I think like in the last one I did, like I didn't have a whole lot to talk about, and I still really don't, but it's just the melting down of America has got me a little talkative now, I guess. I did mention the Georgia runoffs, and it's like as of right now the Democrats are leading. I think they've now called both seats, because I know Warnock was good, but Ossoff was really, really close. But I think they've called both Georgia Senate seats for the Democrats now. So that's good. But I mentioned that, and then I was thinking about, like, that's just, if I had released what I had already had without addressing like the shit show that happened today, like I just felt like that would be too, like, what the fuck's going on here, that sort of thing. So yeah. It's crazy. Like I never like I kind of theorized this like a couple of months ago. I'd have to go back and listen to the podcast. I'm pretty sure I said it on here. Like the whole martial law scenario, and what, like that. What I, it's still, you don't really believe it until it happens, and it did. And one of the funny things too is watching right afterwards the Republican representatives, and they these people have been either tacitly or overtly supporting Trump for his entire presidency, and it's only once their lives they became in mortal danger when something personally affects them, then they finally say, oh, that's no bueno, let's not support that anymore. Then they have a change of heart when it directly affects them. That sort of hypocrisy just fucking boggled my mind. And yeah, that's just that. Now, something else I'd like to address, I'm jumping all over the place, and the one I did earlier wasn't any better either, but I also got TikTok. So this might be your first time seeing any of the Island podcasts because you came over here from TikTok, or you might be looking at my TikTok now as you're listening to the Island podcast, now that I told you it exists. So there's a thing. I did do 2 videos. One I almost did word for word again just a second ago. Yeah, on everything that happened today. Fuck, I'm all over the place. I'm tired too, but I did want to redo this before I went to bed, and yeah, just forgot, because I wanted to, like, I want time in between to edit and everything too. I don't know if I'll edit this one. This might just be like 20 minutes on of just my musings, and it might seem different from my usual speech pattern. I'm kind of noticing that as stuff is coming out, so it's weird. Just bear with me, please. It's been a day. It's been a day. So yeah, so that's that. We're on YouTube now. We've got the TikTok. Other than that, the other thing I want to talk about with the YouTube channel in particular is so obviously the Island Podcast. I'm gonna start doing videos now and have that out there. I also am thinking of doing just other kind of other videos, and I'm not sure how to describe what I've got one good idea. I don't want to give it away, but not necessarily just me doing shit, I guess, that I find humor. Like, just I'm not really sure how to describe it. The first video I'm thinking of doing a how-to video. It's going to be practical how-to video, but I want to do it in a funny way. That's I think the most I can give away without actually giving away what I want to do. So I want to do videos like that. I'm not thinking so much about sketches, but I'm not going to rule anything out. And I'm also thinking maybe doing some video game stuff, like maybe a let's play, or just me doing random shit. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, that that's a possibility. So yeah, I like variety, and I like doing a bunch of different things. So I think I didn't want to have it just be the podcast. I mean, largely for the podcast, but I want to do other things too, maybe shorter videos if you just don't want to just listen to the podcast for a couple hours. If you just want a 20-minute video or 10-minute video of me doing random shit, then hopefully I can provide that too. So I don't know, that's just my thoughts. And so yeah, now you have YouTube comments as another way to try and get in touch and make suggestions, and hopefully they're nice, constructive criticism like suggestions. I know the internet. I know it's not like that all the time. So yeah, I'm just be nice to people, please. Not just me, but like other people too in life and on the internet, all that. Good rules to follow. So yeah, and that's that. So yeah, TikTok, YouTube, other stuff on YouTube. Anything else I should mention? There is one other thing. Not that I can't mention it necessarily, but I want to keep you tantalized. I want to tease you. So there is one other big thing under wraps here, but I'll wait on that one. So just wait and see what else I got under my sleeve. That's me taking a pull for my drink for all you audio listeners. Want to see that? Gotta go check out YouTube. Visualize over here. Moving on up. Oh. So yeah, it's crazy. It's just I know I'm talking all over the place. I mean, I actually think this is maybe even better. This is a little more streamlined than what I was doing earlier today, but that's the material. But like, this is just one of those days where it is like, it might not feel like that earth-shattering and historic and that, but this is going to be one of those days that we all just live through, that in years time, like over you there, like this it's just it is, yeah, it's just a weird day to cope with. And I hope everyone's doing okay, and that later on we can reflect on this and not be freaking out. It's so hard right now because everything's up in the air. where things are going to go, how things are going to work out, like how are people going to react. And the year we had, the year that we just slogged through, doesn't help either. In the fact that you know COVID, everything, it just no bueno, just not the best. But you know what? You're here. If you're listening to this, you're here. I'm here. We survived, and you just got to keep carrying on. Not sure how else to really say that. Yeah. So I hope you're enjoying. Um, yeah, that's it. And I want to let you guys know I appreciate you. That I think I said this in the Christmas Eve preamble, but I appreciate that I'm able to do what I'm doing right now, and that I was able to start two of my dream jobs in the past year, and as shitty as everything was, and reflecting on it in a time like this is just really makes me realize how fortunate I am. So I want to thank you, and I hope to be able to continue to do this, and for for the time to come. Anywho, trying to think right as well, now that we have YouTube comments, and maybe it's a little easier for people to reach out to me, see what you want. Like again, like I want to foster this community involvement of what do the listeners of the Island Podcast want to see. um if there's any topic you want me to touch on, let me know. As far as doing, I was thinking, so I mentioned maybe doing some video game YouTube videos. If there's anything like that specifically you want me to do, the easiest, I don't want to say the easiest, but like the what would make most sense to me right now, if there's anything, is I got I think most of the current Paradox games. I can definitely do CK3 or Hearts of Iron video. That wouldn't be too bad. I could do Vicky too. It's one of my favorites. I That's what really got me into Paradox. I haven't picked it up for a while, so I'd be quite not great at it, and not that I'm great at any Paradox game really. I just I like map painting. It's nice. EU4 is the only one I'd kind of say no to, just because I can it's the I don't get it. I'm sorry. It's just not my jam. Even though it's the period's my jam, I just never got into EU4 for the life of me. It took me a while to actually get into CK2. I got into CK2 before I got into CK3, obviously. It actually took because I just it was hard for me to get the mechanics, how everything went on. Even if I knew the period, I the Reconquista, I was really into the Reconquista, and I just I didn't understand everything that was going on. Then I found the Game of Thrones mod, and it's so backwards for me being a history person, but I found the Game of Thrones mod, and then oh, this makes sense. And then I actually got into regular CK and that. And same thing with Hearts of Iron. Even when that first came out, doing the Italy tutorial, I just never got anything. And then once, I think it was Kaiserreich, really, once I got into Kaiserreich again mod, I just I found Ireland. I did the Ireland game, and I really enjoyed that. And again, it just got me better into the mechanics and everything. So those are the things I think I could easily do. I mean, I could also do New Vegas or anything as I sit beneath the NCR flag. Things of that nature, things on that line. Just food for thought, things I'm thinking about, if that interests people. Other than that, I think we'll call it there. Hope you enjoyed. Just a short one this week. We'll I'll try to have a proper guest on for next time, but hope you guys are excited for what I just said here. Hope you guys are excited for what I have under my hat still. And yeah, we'll see you next week. It's...